An experimental antiviral pill developed by Merck and Co. could have the chances of dying or being hospitalized for those most at risk of contracting severe COVID-19, according to data that experts hailed as a potential breakthrough in how the virus is treated. If it gets authorization, molnupiravir, which is designed to introduce errors into the genetic code of the virus, would be the first oral antiviral medication for COVID-19. Merck and partner Ridgeback Biotherapeutics said they plan to seek United States emergency use authorization for the pill as soon as possible and to make regulatory applications worldwide. Current treatment options include Gilead Sciences' infused antiviral remdesivir and generic steroid dexamethasone, both of which are generally only given once a patient has already been hospitalized. Existing treatments are cumbersome and logistically challenging to administer. A simple oral pill would be the opposite of that, Adelia added. The results from the Phase 3 trial, which sent Merck shares up more than 9%, were so strong that the study is being stopped early at the recommendation of outside monitors. Shares of COVID-19 vaccine makers Moderna were off more than 10%, while Pfizer was down less than 1%. Jefferies analyst Michael Yee said investors believe people will be less afraid of COVID and less inclined to get vaccines if there is a simple pill that can treat COVID. Pfizer and Swiss drug maker Roche Holding AG are also racing to develop an easy-to-administer antiviral pill for COVID-19. For now, only antibody cocktails that have to be given intravenously are approved for non-hospitalized patients. White House COVID-19 response coordinator Jeff Zients said on Friday that molnupiravir is a potential additional tool to protect people from the worst outcomes of COVID, but added that vaccination remains far and away our best tool against COVID-19. A planned interim analysis of 775 patients in Merck's study looked at hospitalizations or deaths among people at risk for severe disease. It found that 7.3% of those given molnupiravir twice a day for 5 days were hospitalized and none had died by 29 days after treatment. That compared with a hospitalization rate of 14.1% for placebo patients. There were also 8 deaths in the placebo group. Scientists welcome the potential new treatment to help prevent serious illness from the virus, which has killed almost 5 million people around the world, 700,000 of them in the United States. The study enrolled patients with laboratory-confirmed mild to moderate COVID-19, who had symptoms for no more than 5 days. All patients had at least one risk factor associated with poor disease outcome, such as obesity or older age. Drugs in the same class as molnupiravir have been linked to birth defects in animal studies. Merck has said similar studies of molnupiravir, for longer and at higher doses than used in humans, indicate that the drug does not affect mammalian DNA. Merck said viral sequencing done so far shows molnupiravir is effective against all variants of the coronavirus including the highly transmissible Delta, which has driven the recent worldwide surge in hospitalizations and deaths. It said rates of adverse events were similar for both molnupiravir and placebo patients, but did not give details. Merck has said data shows molnupiravir is not capable of inducing genetic changes in human cells, but men enrolled in its trials had to abstain from heterosexual intercourse or agree to use contraception. Women of childbearing age in the study could be pregnant and also had to use birth control. The United States drug maker said it expects to produce 10 million courses of the treatment by the end of 2021. The company has a United States government contract to supply 1.7 million courses of molnupiravir at a price of $700 per course. Davis said Merck has similar agreements with other governments, and is in talks with more. Merck said it plans a tiered pricing approach based on country income criteria. The United States government has the option to purchase up to an additional 3.5 million treatment courses if needed, a United States health official told Reuters. The official asked to remain anonymous because they were not authorized to comment publicly on the contract. Merck has also agreed to license the drug to several India-based generic drug makers, which would be able to supply the treatment to low- and middle-income countries. Molnupiravir is also being studied in a Phase 3 trial for preventing infection in people exposed to the coronavirus. Merck officials said it is unclear how long the FDA review will take, although Dean Li, head of Merck's research labs, said, "They are going to try to work with alacrity on this."